Good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Bender. I'm the president of the Minneapolis City Council. Welcome to our council meeting. Before we start our official business, we often take a moment to recognize important things in our city. And so I'm going to turn it over to Councilmember Cano this morning for this resolution recognizing Somos.
Thank you, Madam President. And if we could please have the Somos group please come up. Leida, Nuria, who's our official sponsor. Daniel, please come and join us. Silvia, por favor. And we need people on the left of this picture too over here, so it's a little bit balanced. So we want to just make sure all of you are able to join us. Las muchachas peruanas, por favor. Mónica. Please, thank you so much. So much work has gone into this. I just want to make sure you all get recognized here this morning. So before I read the resolution, I just want to share a small story. I met a council member from San Antonio recently, a Latina woman who spoke. So the council member was sharing her story that, she was introducing herself to the panelists and to the participants and said, you probably think that I'm an immigrant. I just got here maybe 10, 15 years ago, but in fact, I'm from Texas, and my family has been here for 300 years. And so I just want to share that story with you because I know currently we're being, our attention is being focused on the issue of immigration for right reasons. But we do have a very long history as Latinos, as Mexican Americans to this country, and with deep, deep roots that go back to the time when the U.S. Did not have its current borders, where Mexico did not have its current borders, and many of our communities and families have been here for generations and hundreds of years, and in fact claim indigenous identity and presence to this country. And so I just wanted to share that because it was really enlightening for me to hear her say that. It's a perspective that we don't often hear in Minnesota because we're indeed so far away from places like Texas and Nevada and New Mexico and California, which were originally parts of other countries before. So I want to start by just mentioning that we're honoring the creation of Somos, the Latino Employee Resource Group. So whereas the United States is home to 58.9 million Latinos, making them the largest ethnic and racial community in the country, and whereas the U.S. Latino population is a contributing force to the nation as the fastest growing demographic, projected to reach 62.3 million by the year 2020, and whereas in Minnesota, the Latino community is the 28th largest in the country, with more than 276,000 Latinos living in the state. Currently, 5% of Minnesota's total population is Latino, and by the year 2035, it is estimated to reach 9% of the total population, making it the largest ethnic and racial community in Minnesota. And whereas in Minneapolis, Latinos make up 10.5% of our city's total population, yet out of the 4,220 City of Minneapolis employees, only 4.3% are Latino, and only 1.2% are Latina women. Whereas employee resource groups offer city staff the opportunity to collaborate with colleagues and city leaders to help achieve the City of Minneapolis's racial equity hiring goals and improve the workplace by promoting policies and practices that are free of racial discrimination. And whereas a new employee resource group called Somos has been established to support the City of Minneapolis Latino employees and to increase the number of Latinos employed by the city, Somos will focus on promoting recruitment, retention, professional development, and career advancement strategies for Latino employees. And whereas Somos will help establish a fair and just workplace culture for Latino employees within the city enterprise, and will offer the City of Minneapolis recommendations on how to better create an inclusive, representative, and empowering place for work for Latino employees. And whereas each year Somos will create opportunities for leadership development and institutional learning during Latino Heritage Month and by highlighting our Twin Cities Latino leader community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and the City Council do hereby commemorate March 15th, 2019 as the inaugural launch of Somos and recognize the value and rich contributions of Latino employees as history makers and legacy leaders. We acknowledge their vital role in the growth and strength of our nation and in the region, and in Minneapolis as we celebrate the creation of Somos, the first Latino employee resource group for the city of Minneapolis. Felicidades. I would like to thank our colleagues here on the council, our council president, our mayor, who were very supportive of this effort, and would like to make sure that our sponsor, because every employee resource group needs a sponsor, who is Nuria Rivera Vandermeid, if she could share some words with us. I did want to acknowledge that we have Velma Corbell here in the room, who has been a trailblazer in forming other employee resource groups throughout the city enterprise, as well as our HR department and Patience Ferguson for helping us to also launch this effort and provided this group with information. So if we could have a few of you please speak to us about this project and this initiative.
Buenos dias, and I'm wondering if we can get in that resolution a notion that we start every morning with pozole, churros, and dancing. 'Cause that was really good, right? My name is Nuria Rivera Vandermeid. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm really happy. I'm the city coordinator for the city of Minneapolis. Really happy to be here, and really here not as in that position, but as one of the 4.3% of employees that are Latina in the city of Minneapolis. I want to also thank, we thanked some of our other ERGs, and Bend was Trailblazers. We've got the 29% Club, who now is rebranded as Women in the House, and thank you for your support as well. I just want to say briefly that this would not have been possible but for the folks that you see here, the employees of the city of Minneapolis. This was driven, created, and made for and by them, and I couldn't be prouder to stand here and support them as champions. So thank you so much. I'm going to let them speak. So, Sebastiana?
Good morning. My name is Sebastiano Cervantes. I guess I'm just fortunate that I was tagged in an email. I think before working on this group for the last few months, I probably could count on my hand how many Latinos and Latinx people that I knew. And in this beautiful progress that I've become a part of, I've met so many new Latinx people and just people who appreciate my culture. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for our group, for sure.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Ramirez. I'm with the Department of Civil Rights, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who helped to make this day possible. People like Patience Ferguson, who helped out a lot with providing information to our group. Velma Corbell was also very instrumental in letting us know how Ben set things up to give us an idea of how we would continue forward with Somos. And especially, I would like to send out special thanks to the members of Somos and the people like Nuria Vandermeid, Daniel Bonilla, Leila Schuster, Silvia Gonzalez, Sebastiana, and Rebecca, and many others who helped to make this day possible, helping us create this bridge amongst ourselves, amongst the Latinx employees, which also will become a bridge, I believe, for other groups within the city and for the city itself. And I also thank City Council for passing this resolution as well. Thank you.
I'm just a soldier here.
Besides thanking council members and this beautiful group, audience, thank you very much for coming. This is important for us. I'd like to share that I pledged myself to distribute any position description that is well paid through my email network and my social media. And I have my own introduction, and I say, I personally encouraged POCII people to apply. I'm Monica Romero, City of Minneapolis, CPED Small Business Team, and soy de Colombia. I'm from Colombia.
Hi, I'm Cristina Manancero Vichagran. My parents are from Uruguay, and I work in the city coordinator's office in the Division of Race and Equity.
Hello, my name is Patricia Ibon, and I am from Colombia.
Hi, my name is Paula, and I'm from Colombia.
Hello, my name is Cecilia Robbins. I work for the Minneapolis Police Department, and I am from Colombia as well.
Hi, Margarita San Roman, Tex-Mex.
My name is Marinda. I work down in business licensing, and my family is Mexican American.
Hola a todos. My name is Leida. I'm with the coordinator's office, and I am from Peru.
Nuria, and I am from Puerto Rico.
Alondra Cano, Mexico.
Daniel Bonilla, Costa Rica.
Sebastiana, Mexico.
Silvia Gonzalez, Mexican American by way of Texas.
Again, Gabriel Ramirez, Mexican American by way of Texas. My family's been here for 100 years.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mirta Montoya, and I am from Peru.
Hello, my name is Betsy Sanchez, and I'm from Peru too.
Nicole Gonzalez, Mexican American.
And together we are
Somos.
Thank you all so much, and thank you for all of your leadership, which is so important to our city. And Councilmember Cano, thank you. Good morning. Again, I'm Lisa Bender. I'm the president of the Minneapolis City Council, and I will call to order our regular meeting for March 15th, 2019, and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilmember Khanna.
Aye. Here.
Reich.
Here.
Fletcher.
Here.
Jenkins. Here. Schrader.
Here.
Orsani.
President.
Cunningham.
President.
Ellison.
President.
Goodman.
Present.
Johnson.
Here.
Palmisano.
Present.
Gordon.
Here.
President Bender.
Here.
There are 13 members present.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that we have a quorum for today's meeting. Before we begin, I just want to pause and acknowledge the very tragic, painful shooting that happened in New Zealand yesterday. And it feels like there are so many of these hate crimes and violence around the world, but that sometimes it's like, do we keep acknowledging them? But I think we must acknowledge the pain that it causes in a community when it isn't safe to worship, and that religious hatred and white supremacy that we see manifesting in violence right now. I think it is important to pause and just acknowledge it. And I think particularly for folks worshiping today in mosques around our city and around our state, just do everything we can to make sure that our entire community feels safe. So I will just pause in honor of the victims and of the pain that it causes around the world. With that, we have our agenda for the meeting today before us. Are there any amendments to our agenda? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in approval say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That carries, and that is approved. Next, we have the minutes from March 1st for acceptance. Is there a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved. Second.
All in approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. That carries, and those minutes are accepted. Finally, is there a motion to refer the petitions, communications, and reports to the proper committees?
So moved. Second.
All in approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. That carries, and those referrals are made. The next order of business is reports of our standing committees, and we begin with the report of the Economic Development and Regulatory Services Committee given by the Chair, Councilmember Goodman.
Thank you, Madam President. There are 10 items on our agenda for approval this morning. Items 1, 2, and 3 are liquor license approvals now that the new law has been in effect for Prodigal Pub, Venn Brewing, and Terzo. And then item number 4 is some changes in our interest to rental dwelling license, provisional license ordinance. Item 5 is being deleted from the agenda. This was a recommendation to eliminate the license as a result of non-payment of taxes, but they have since paid their taxes. Item 6 are the liquor license approvals, and 7 are the renewals. Item number 8 is a joint application for a project at 1101 West River Parkway that has to do with underground mine space. Item number 9 is accepting several $1 million in grants from a variety of sources, including Hennepin County, the state, and Met Council. And item number 10 is the Renters First housing policy. With that, I will move items 1 through 4 for approval, item 5 to be deleted from the agenda, and 6 through 10 for approval, and there might be some people who would like to speak to item 10 as well.
Thank you. Madam Chair has moved the EDRS agenda and then moved to delete item 9. Is there any discussion?
No.
Or, I'm sorry, item 5.
9 is accepting like $5 million.
Yep, not item 9. Item 9 is for approval. Don't panic. Item 5. Is there any discussion on those items? Councilmember Ellison.
Thank you, Council President. I'm having some technical problems again. I'm going to have to get my computer fixed. Just wanted to speak to item number 10, which is the renter first policy. Myself and the Council President have been working with regulatory services on this policy. I plan to say a lot more about the policy, but after yesterday's shootings at the New Zealand mosque, my brain's not totally there, but I think it's a really exciting policy. The purpose, the goal of the policy, I think, is to really solidify and affirm a lot of the work that regulatory services has been doing on behalf of renters already. The Renter First policy seeks to make sure that we are accounting for the people who are living in those dwellings, not just the status of the physical structure. And that's something that regulatory services has been doing already, and this just sort of solidifies it in policy. And so really want to thank Reg Services for its leadership and thank the Council President for working on that policy with me. So thank you, that's all.
Thank you. I have myself in queue if no one else wants to speak. I want to thank Councilmember Ellison for the partnership on this. I'm really excited about this work, and I think sometimes the most powerful work that we get to do as policymakers is systems change within our own departments. And that's what this is. This is a policy that really looks at how we do work as a city and how we can shift it philosophically, how we think about prioritizing resources, and then all of the folks who work, who come into contact with folks who are renting their housing in the city. This policy directs our staff across the enterprise to center renters, the health and the stability of our renter populations in our work. And I think that we're just beginning to understand the ways that we can do that. Of course, there's some very clear examples in our housing inspections, in how we write policies like Councilmember Cunningham's update to the conduct on licensed premise. So that work fits in, but I think having met with 90 or so staff from Reg Services a couple of weeks ago, together with Councilmember Ellison, we heard a lot of ideas just in that hour-long conversation with staff who are thinking about this every day. So I think this is affirming the direction of the Regulatory Services Department. So really want to thank the leadership of that department, and particularly Interim Director Keller. When we talk to folks who work with low-income renters in particular, they tell us that the highest priority for change is just getting kind of our own house in order. And again, looking at how we're using our resources and the impact that we're having on folks who rent their housing, who of course make up more than half of our city's population. So we look at rental housing as an asset that is our responsibility to make sure is safe and well maintained, and that we are, really centering renters in that work. So thank you again, Councilmember Ellison, for your partnership on this, and staff for all of the great work. Anything further on EDRS? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and those items are adopted. The next report is from our Intergovernmental Relations Committee, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Johnson.
Madam Chair, since I wasn't at this committee, I'm wondering if our vice chair will read this, who is chairing the committee?
Thank you, Chair Johnson. I'm happy to read the report, and thank you for representing the city so well at National League of Cities. We appreciate your efforts there. The IGR committee met on March 13th, 2019, and there were two items. The 2019 legislative agenda and policy positions, which we amended the 2019 legislative agenda and policy positions to add the Upper Harbor Terminal pre-design and design project to the capital investment priorities section. And the second item was to contract with Turner Public Affairs, LLC for legislative representation services, authorizing a contract with Turner Public Affairs, LLC in the amount not to exceed $18,500 from March 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2019 for legislative representation services. Madam President, I move these items for adoption.
Thank you. The Council Vice President has moved the IGR agenda for adoption. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and those items are adopted. Next, we have the report from the Public Health, Environment, Civil Rights, and Engagement Committee, given by the Chair, Councilmember Cunningham.
Thank you, Madam President. The Public Health, Environment, Civil Rights, and Engagement Committee is bringing forward 3 items for approval today. The first is authorizing an agreement for with Optimum Insight for insurance eligibility verification services for our school-based clinics program. The second is authorizing a lease agreement with Minneapolis Public Schools at no cost to the city for space and support for the city's school-based clinic program. And then the third is authorizing a contract for a consultant to lead the multi-jurisdictional task force on opioids. I move approval of these 3 items.
Councilmember Cunningham has moved approval of the committee's report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and those items are adopted. Next is a report from the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee, given by the Chair, Councilmember Cano.
Thank you, Madam President. So for the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee, we have 3 items that are being brought forward to the Council for approval. Number 1 is authorizing a contract amendment with Aspen Psychological Consulting for psychological evaluations for 911 personnel. Item number 2 is authorizing a contract with Blue Pictures LLC to film the Minneapolis Police Department Women in Law Enforcement video. Number 3 is a police department directing the Minneapolis Police Department to report back to the Public Safety and Emergency Management Committee by July 31st, 2019, regarding the development of an MPD plan to further the culture of wellness and mindfulness within the police department. So this is under the Police Department Wellness and Mindfulness Planning item. So those are the 3 items, and I'll stand for any questions.
Councilmember Cano has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
I was saying aye to items 1 and 3, and per the discussion at committee, I'll be saying no to item 2.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays, except on item 2, there are 12 ayes and 1 nay.
Thank you. Those items carried. That is adopted. The next report is from the Transportation and Public Works Committee, given by the Chair, Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Madam President. The committee forwards 13 items for today's consideration. Item 1 is the Grand Street Northeast Resurfacing Project. Item 2 is the Sanford Area Residential Street Resurfacing Project. Item 3 is the 10th Avenue Bridge Tunneled Water Main Project. 4 is the 14th Avenue Northeast Alley Construction Project. 5 is the ESPN College Game Day Block Event Permit. Item 6 is the areaway abandonment at 3032 and 3038 Hennepin Avenue South. Item 7 is the bid for ready-mix concrete. 8 is the bid for bituminous mixtures. 9, the bid for the Fridley Softening Plant 2019 Masonry Repair Project. 10 is the bid for the 8th Street Construction Project. 11 is the bid for the 10th Avenue Water Main River Crossing Project. 12 is the bid for the Hennepin Avenue Sanitary Sewer Replacement Project. And the final item is a license agreement for shared motorized foot scooter operations in 2019. I move all items for approval, Madam President.
Councilmember Reich has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins. Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and those are adopted. The Ways and Means Committee report is next, which is presented by the Chair, Councilmember Warsami.
Thank you, Madam President. The Ways and Means Committee has 29 items to bring to today's for approval today. Item number 1 is the Civil Service Commission appointment. Item number 2 is the Minnesota Department of Public Safety Violence Against Women Act Stop Special Program Grant for implementation of a pilot domestic assaults response team. Item number 3 to 15 are legal settlements. Item number 16 is a grant from the Minnesota Historical Society for Minneapolis Modern Era Context Study and Report. Item number 17 is an appointed position in the Health Department. This is the Director Office of Violence Prevention. Item number 18 is an appointed position in the City Clerk's Office, and this is the Assistant City Clerk. Item number 19 is the Capital Long Range Improvement Committee appointments. Item number 20 is assignment of arbitrage rebate services contract to A.W. Smith LLC. Item number 21 is a bid for Target Center escalator refurbishing. Item number 22 is a rebid for Curry Maintenance Facility Electrical Systems Modification Project. Item number 23 is a lease with Colliers International for Elections and Voter Services Office and Warehouse. Item number 24 is a lease with Extra Space Management, Inc. for Minneapolis Animal Care and Control Equipment Storage. Item number 25 is a contract with Visual Communications, Inc. for signage and wayfinding design services for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 26 is a contract amendment with Maya, Scherer, and Rockcastle, Ltd. for architect and engineer of record design services for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 27 is a contract amendment with Architectural Wall Systems LLC for design assist and unitized envelope system services for the Public Service Building Project. Item number 28 is a contract amendment with Adolphson and Peterson Construction for the Eastside Storage and Maintenance Facility Project. And item number 29 is a gift acceptance from the Harvard Kennedy School for travel-related expenses to the Project on Municipal Innovation. And I move approval of all 29 items.
Councilmember Warsami has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Reich.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and the report is adopted. Finally, we have the report from Zoning and Planning, presented by the Chair, Councilmember Schrader.
Thank you, Madam President. The Zoning and Planning Committee has 3 items for approval. The first is the denial of an approval for the property, the denial of a site plan review for the property at 445 Malcolm Avenue Southeast, 419 through 504 29th Avenue Southeast, and 501 30th Avenue Southeast. The second is the approval of a rezoning application for the property at the same location. And the third is the approval of the adequacy of an environmental assessment worksheet for the property at 500 through 530 South 3rd Street, as well as 240 Portland Avenue. I move all items for approval.
Councilmember Schrader has moved the committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and the CMP report is adopted. The next order of business is the reports from special committees, and we have a report from the Executive Committee given by the Council Vice President.
Thank you, Madam President. The Executive Committee brings forward 5 items today for referral to the Ways and Means Committee. Item number 1 is the appointed position of Chief of Staff in the Police Department. Items number 2 and 3 are annual increases to the salary and wage schedules for politically appointed and non-represented employees. Items number 4 and 5 are collective bargaining agreements with the firefighters unit and the electrical technicians unit. I move for approval of these 5 items.
Council Vice President has moved the Executive Committee report. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Cano.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Fletcher.
Aye.
Jenkins.
Aye.
Schrader.
Aye.
Warsami.
Aye.
Cunningham.
Aye.
Ellison.
Aye.
Goodman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Palmisano.
Aye.
Gordon.
Aye.
President Bender.
Aye.
There are 13 ayes and no nays.
That carries, and those items will be referred to the Ways and Means Committee in the next regular cycle. The next order of business is resolutions. We have the one honorary resolution today honoring the creation of Somos, the Latino Employee Resource Group. Is there any discussion on that resolution? Seeing none, all in approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. That carries, and the resolution is adopted. Finally, we have announcements. Are there any announcements? I don't see any. So we have concluded our business today before the City Council. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say no. That carries, and we are adjourned. Thank you.